Hi there. Today I'm in the craft room. This is an ACEO I made from some original artwork a few days ago. It's watercolour, pen and ink, and I absolutely love it. I'm not entirely sure what it is that appeals so much. I think it's the colours that I've used. I wanted to make it into a piece of textile art. So to do that, I thought I'd bring you along and show you some of the steps that I'm going through. So I've made my picture into an A4 and printed that off just as black and white. Now, originally I was going to trace that using my light box, but I'm actually thinking what I want to do is extend this lady's hair behind this one. So what I think I will do actually is cut these shapes out and then transfer them, because that'll give me the opportunity to elongate that hair and also this one slightly. Plus, because I've done the hair quite dark, it's more difficult to trace accurately using the light box. So I'm going to do that now. I'll cut those out and then I will probably pop them onto some card, and then I've got my templates for cutting out my textiles. So to show you part way through, I've cut out my ladies and then I've used that to just roughly draw the shapes of their heads, bodies, and extend the hair. And obviously I had to extend the body on this one as well, because I would like them to be individuals in their own right, even though I'm going to merge them together. So I'll put those onto card, I think, so I've got them as proper templates, and then I'll cut those out. This is my original piece, and I'd really like the colours and the texture to really sort of stay true to the original, because there's just something about it just really draws me. So I'm very happy with them. We'll see what the finished piece looks like. Scanned in, added as line art, and printed off onto card, and that makes life so much easier. Then I can cut those out and we'll get on with the fabric. A great way to add our fabric onto our base is by using something like Heat and Bond Light, which is an iron-on adhesive, but this particular one you can actually sew through as well. You get stronger ones like Heat and Bond Ultra, then you don't have to sew them at all, and they're also great. But I find, because I'm doing sewing, that the Heat and Bond Light is good. There are other brands available, but I tend to use this one because I've got quite a bit of it. So I've cut out all my shapes. Now, what we could do is trace around our shapes directly onto the Heat and Bond Light, and then go and take that and iron it onto a piece of fabric. Alternatively, if you've got some fabric scraps, you can use the Heat and Bond Light, iron that directly onto the fabric scraps, and then trace around it afterwards. I do have quite a lot of the fabric scraps with Heat and Bond Light on already, so I'm going to have a quick look and see what I've got available and see if there's anything that I think might be suitable. I think I'm also going to use the template to make myself a little art doll. What I might do then is use some textile paints or acrylic paint using textile medium with it as well, and perhaps paint those and see how they come out. And this is my drawer full of already bonded fabric scraps of Heat and Bond Light. I'm going to have a bit of a rummage through here. I tend to separate them in sort of colourways. So I've got the yellows in there, lots of greens in there, just a bit of basic white. There's a lovely oranges and my blues. I love that sequin. So some really nice choice here to think about what I'm going to use. My original has a sort of lighter yellow and then a more golden sunflower yellow. So I think that maybe this one would be a good choice for that. That sort of colour, perhaps, for her with her green hair. First one I think is a slightly lighter yellow. I'm not sure whether that's going to be too light, although I do quite like it. We could always jazz it up with a little bit of ink tint, so maybe we will go with that one. Judging by my original colour scheme, I'm not sure I've got quite enough of this yellow, but I'm going to go with the yellow and blue for sister one. I'm not sure whether I'm going to go with this lovely fabric here with the leaves on, or I think this one's a bit too light with the flowers on, so I think I'll probably stick with that one. So that's sister one. And for sister two, she's got the orange on. Now, gingham would not have been my first choice particularly for her. However, I do like that colour, and I really like the purple polka dot as well, so I'm going to go with the purple polka dot, but I'm going to have to do a little bit of fusing fabric together for that one. And my last one, last sister, we're going with the stars, because that's quite a similar golden yellow to her tunic, and also she does have the sort of stars on there as well, and then with the green gingham for her hair. So that's my colour choices, and now I will start cutting that out and fusing my fabrics together, ready for sewing onto the final piece. I've got to say, For their faces, I'm going to use it light, sort of creamy coloured cotton, but I'll be adding some Inktense on there just to add a little bit of colour to that. Because I don't have enough of this fabric for the hair, but I really want to use it, I've cut out some greaseproof paper baking parchment and I'm going to iron my pieces of fabric onto here in the shape of the hair so that when they're on there, I can cut that out and I can sew those pieces together and that will keep them hopefully in one piece. So we'll see, because I don't tend to use this method. I've not used baking parchment for this before, so this is a new one for me, but I did see someone do it on Instagram, so I'm going to see how it works for me. So I've set up my little travel iron and I've got my little makeshift ironing board here, and I'm going to peel off the Heat and Bond Light backing from my little fabric scraps, and I will iron them on to this piece of parchment and then cut around it. All laid out neatly, and that will cover that template below. So I've got it set to spot, and I'm just going to press it for a few seconds, make sure that all the pieces are stuck either down onto the parchment or stuck together. And then I will cut it out and sew the fabric together so that it's stuck together really well. We'll see how it works. Let's see if that's stuck. It does seem to be, doesn't it? Will it come off the parchment easily? I wonder. Oh yeah, it does. Wow. That comes away really easily. So that's awesome. So there's a new one for me. So now I've got a piece of fabric that I've made out of all these other little pieces. That's brilliant. Right, I better stick that back down on there because I need to be able to use a template to put it in the right shape. I absolutely love how that turned out. How absolutely marvellous. Really pleased with that technique. So I will be using baking parchment again to fuse my fabric. That is so cool. So I've cut the hair out there. So that's the hair for the sister number 2. And I will now get her body cut out. I've got enough of the gingham fabric, so I don't need to fuse that together. So I'm just going to pop the template on the back. Sorry, bit of shuffling around here. So I'll put the template on the back and I will just draw around that and cut it out. And I'll do that with the rest of the shapes as well. And then I will come back to you. So that's what they look like. These were my templates. And this is my trio of sisters with their fabric. And what I'll do now is add some possibly Inktense to change the colour of the faces, and I will iron them onto a base fabric ready for stitching. But I think for now that's probably it. So that just gives you a bit of an insight into my process of creating some textile art from some art that I did on paper. Hope you enjoyed seeing it. If you did, give me a thumbs up, and I'll show you the fit item another time. You take care. Bye.